there's lots of really silly things being said, but I think we have to also acknowledge that lots of perfectly reasonable, decent people have been told that immigration is the cause of a lot of our troubles. They've been told that low wages, crowded schools and hospitals, and the lack of housing, that's caused by immigration. And we need to say to those people, your concerns about housing, about schools, about hospitals, about wages are perfectly fair and reasonable. But the problem is not caused by immigration, it's not caused by the EU, it is caused by failed government policies. And then some of the arguments we might hear from some people on our side. I get through this at least a couple of times a day on Twitter. People say, oh, we have to leave the EU because of TTIP. Well, I just conjure up very briefly a nightmare. Just imagine if we voted for Brexit. And imagine in a few months after that, Prime Minister Boris Johnson going to Washington to talk to President Trump and begging for a free trade deal US-UK. The way to stop TTIP is to work together with people from around the EU, the people who are fighting TTIP, the people who are winning. TTIP was supposed to be signed at the end of last year. That hasn't happened. We're winning. We need to stay together and keep winning. And I've got to catch a train in a second, so probably about to go and get more passionate about renationalising the railways, most likely. But I just wanted two more thoughts. We've got so many economic, social and environmental problems that we're facing. I don't want on June 24 to come up with a whole list of the things that we're going to lose leaving the EU because we're voting for Brexit and having to fight to save all those things. I want to say we're in the EU, we're going to keep fighting to reform the EU, but above all we're going to keep fighting to get rid of the Tory government. 2022. Something I've been thinking about a lot in the last few days. That's the fact that in the last decade or so, the nature of public discourse, the debates about immigration and racism has really got much worse in Britain. People are saying racist things that wouldn't have been acceptable 10 years ago. We're seeing a huge rise in racist attacks, even those just documented by the police. Just imagine what it would be like the morning of June 24 with the UKIPers, the Brexiters, the racists exalted, empowered, strengthened. I don't want to see that happen. And it's in all of your hands, not just to make sure you go and vote, but I said upstairs, I've got a request for you. I want you to become a pub bore, or a cafe bore, or a staff room bore, or a common room bore for the next 3 weeks. And keep talking about the EU referendum and why we should remain. Keep saying another Europe is possible. And remember, it's only 3 weeks. You can recover your reputation after that. Thank you.